Hello and welcome to Snetterton. After the opening round at Alton Park and then a double header at Donington Park, we're here for round 4 of the Fun Cup Championship. Now, so far there are 4 teams that have been dominating the podium places. Let's take a look at how they've been getting on.
Reigning champions team Race Logic got off to a flyer with victory in the opening round at Alton Park, followed by another win in round 3 at Donington. Their closest rivals have been former champions team Honeywell. They won the Donington Park sprint race and haven't yet been off the podium. 4th in round 1, 3rd in round 2 and then 2nd in round 3. Team OPR will be hoping the pattern of their results continues with a win here. And with 2 second place finishes, Nimbus Data Racing should be near the top of the table, but brake failure at Donington Park cost them valuable points.
So that's a look at the teams that have been going well this season, but Christian, there are definitely 1 or 2 teams that we've yet to see the best from.
Yeah, there is. I guess it's the one thing of having such a good competitive championship. There's Hillspeed, there's Eco Racing. There's quite a few teams there that, I guess in their eyes, they would like to be doing a bit better, maybe up in the top podium, 1, 2, 3 places there.
Yeah, Eco Racing in particular, they were the diesel class champions last year. They've switched across to petrol, like most people have, but they've got a totally different car this year, and they're struggling. They got 5th place, 6th place, they're doing okay, but they should really be challenging for podiums. They've not quite got the car set up yet, have they?
Yeah, well, even though it is the same Fun Cup car as such, it is a different style of driving. You know, the diesel cars have got so much more torque. It is getting used to that. You know, and I guess we're talking mid-season now. You should hope in this race, you know, maybe hopefully in their eyes that they might be getting up to those places. I mean, you never know. This track is a bit different to the ones. It is a lot faster a circuit. So hopefully we can see them up there today. Yeah,
I'm sure they'll get there. Porsche Byfleet's another team. They've been race winners in the past. They're starting to get it together now. They were 4th at the last race.
Yeah, 4th last race, did extremely well, had some really close battles with quite a few teams there. Again, same with Hillspeed. You could actually mention half the field. I mean, like I say, it's such a competitive field we have here, so it will be a really interesting race to see, I guess, if the top teams can stay ahead.
The other team that I'd bring your attention to would probably be Ikuria Scargo, the 88 car, because Will Pembroke has got his old teammate back with him for the first time this year, James Somerton, and that's a team that a couple of years ago very nearly won the petrol class here at Snetterton.
They are used to the car, whereas you could say, for example, Eco Racing at a slight disadvantage of having a couple of years out of that and back into it, so it will be interesting to see how they do that on as well.
Yeah, good point. And the circuit here changed quite a lot a few years ago. It used to be a very quick circuit. It is still quick in parts, but these days, Christian, it's not just about how much power you've got. Using the full 300 circuit here today, it's almost a circuit of 2 halves. There's a quick back straight, there's a quick back section, but the infield is very technical, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. I really like the new 300 circuit. Previously, it was like a NASCAR track. You'd be on the back straight, you tucked him behind another one, you overtake him. By the time you got to the end, he's probably overtaking you again because of the whole slipstream situation there. Nowadays, we do have the more technical infield. It's still a very quick track, but I guess with these cars, you can have a bit more of a play, throw them around a bit, and there's a few tricky corners in there. So it really is a bit more of a test of your drivability as well now.
All right, well, it's going to be a great race. Let's see how it gets on. Christian's going to be in the pit lane speaking to the drivers. I'm going to be in the commentary box. Let's have a look at round 4 of the Fun Cup Championship.
The big news is that Porsche Byfleet, 4th in the championship, will miss the start of the race following a crash in qualifying.
Coming round Hamilton, pretty much flat. I hadn't braked, stuck a wheel over the edge. It's quite a sharp drop there, and something on the steering let go on the right-hand side, and ended up a passenger.
The team is working flat out to try and fix the car, but they're still some way from being ready. Meanwhile, the rest of the cars are on track for the green flag lap, almost ready now for the start of this 5-hour endurance race. Team Toolbox.co.uk have drawn pole with Jolly Roger alongside. New teams MLC and Holden Hawthorns make up row 2, while all of the championship frontrunners are near the back, with Race Logic dead last as winners of the previous round. The lights go out, the rolling start gets underway, and JPR Team Toolbox lead the way from 2nd on the grid. This is Ben Gill on board the Jolly Roger car, but he's got cars coming left and right of him, including the blue and yellow Hillspeed machine, as Lee Atkins picks up several places into turn 1 and moves from the third row of the grid straight into second place. Jolly Roger down to third. Team Holden Hawthorns running in fourth place. Looking back now from the 169 Team Cat driver training car, and that's 207 Team O'Brien trying to come through on board with Ed Cole, and he tries to come around the outside now on the way into the hairpin. He does come around the outside of the OBR car, and Ed in the number 92 machine has gone 3 abreast here with the 169 Team Cat driver training machine on the inside. Still though, they accelerate now towards the left-hander at Palmer, and the 207 machine, the red Zeb car of Team O'Brien with Bradley Philpotts, newcomer to the team on board, has got back ahead. Here's the leaders then. No change between the top 3. In fact, there is, because the Team Toolbox car has dropped behind Jolly Roger down to third place now. So Ben Gill has gained 1 and lost 1. And into the lead of the race from the third row of the grid, the blue and yellow Hill Speed car. Through Oggies now, the left-hander. And looking back now, and right at the back of the pack has gone the Team Cat driver training car. Number 169, one of the new teams this year, as it comes out of Agostini corner. Back on board with Ed Cole, trying to move this Purple Apple machine through the fields as down the long Bentley Straight and towards the left-hander at Brundle now come the lead group. And look at the 88 machine up to fourth place there. The black car, the yellow stripes down the middle, that's JPR Ecurie Escargot. Will Pembroke behind the wheel. CCS Media have come up to fifth place as well. The red, white and blue machine of Holden Hawthorns has gone down to sixth position. And there looks the Nimbus Data car, which is just behind the Honeywell machine. And there's the Team OBR car. So that's 3 of the cars from the back of the field that are championship front runners who picked up places. The one machine of Jochen Ritter, Race Logic, has also picked up a couple of places here as we come onto the centre straight now at the end of lap number 1 on board with Ben Gill. He's trying to chase down the race leader, former Radical champion Lee Atkins then. Makes his way into Rich's corner as the race leader, and into third place around the outside there comes the Ecurie Escargot car. So Julian Taylor down to fourth place now in the Team Toolbox machine. Then it's Chira Carinanti running in fifth place. Another view inside the cockpit of the Jolly Roger car on board with Ben Gill. He's about to turn his way through the Montreal hairpin, and he making a good start to the race. There's the 169 car with the rear facing on board, which is right at the back of the field, but now coming closer to the tail of the 170 MLC car. A pair of cars which used to run in the German Championship, those, as the third, fourth and fifth come pretty tight on the way into Agostini. This hairpin in the new section, newish section of Snetterton, around the 300 circuit. They're already pulling away from the next group of cars from fifth place downwards. Ben Gill down through the sequential gearbox, 5-speed sequential gearbox these days, getting a bit crossed up on the way through the left-hander at Oggies. And here's some overtaking at the back of the field here, or a chance maybe for the 169 Team Cat car. Doesn't quite make it through, trying to nibble up the inside of another new team MLC. On board now with the MLC car, coming up into the left-hander at Hamilton, through towards the right-hander at Oggies, and running a little bit wide there. Down through the gears, down to third gear for the right-hand turn. He's looking in the wing mirrors because through comes the Team Cat car, looking back from their machine now at the MLC car. So everybody's safe through the first few laps, apart from the Porsche Byfleet car, which hasn't yet made it out onto the circuit, I'm afraid. Third, fourth and fifth still as close as can be. The 125 car of JPR Wacky Races, the orange machine in the background, has now moved up into fifth place. This League Quartet really making good progress in the early stages of the race. Back on board with Ed Cole, multiple race winner when he used to race with the Credit Crunch racing team. Now with Purple Apple, who was second in the Petrol Class Championship a couple of years ago behind Jolly Roger, who were there in second place in the races. This second group of cars coming through. Eco Racing there with Tom Mills in the green and silver machine. It's just been passed around the outside by the Sherrodice UK car, the red and white machine, which then runs wide on the exit. So Pete Belshaw losing a place there. This is a replay of the start, looking back from the 169 Team Cat driver training car, and that was the red car on the outside, was Honeywell coming from the back of the field. There's the 104 machine right on the bumper there of Team OBR X-Cat. You saw the Nimbus car coming around the outside as well, and here's another view of the start of the race, and that's the blue and yellow machine coming through from the third row of the grid there to get ahead and eventually into the lead of the race with a terrific start for Hill Speed then, and Lee Atkins, through he goes, still leading the race. Second and third now, the gap coming down. They've dropped the JPR Toolbox car, which loses another place as Chiro Carinanti just drives around the outside of him at Rich's corner. Good move that from Chiro to pick up fourth place in the CCS car. So he's making good progress here. The team looking for their first top six finish of the year. That's Ed Cole, there he is. There is his machine, the 92 car, which he shares with Paul Calladine. picking up a couple of places in the opening laps, and we've got action here for second place. A glance up the inside there from Will Pembroke on the way into Agostini, but he couldn't quite find a way past Ben Gill, and losing track of the race leader. They're in danger of being caught by CCS as well. There's Jochen Ritter. Normally it's Nigel Greensall that takes the start of the races for Race Logic, but Jochen has taken the start here, and he has picked up several places already. And out of the pits has come the 104 machine of Team OBR X-Cap, which has had some damage and an early visit to the pit, so that's right at the back of the field now as we go back on board here with Ben Gill, who's having this terrific battle for second place with JPR Acuria Scargo. They were side by side down the Bentley Straight, and now the door opens up on the way to Nelson Corner, the right hander at the end of the S's. Bit of contact there. Ben's not very happy, and Will Pembroke though has made the move and has gone through to second place. So there's the Jolly Roger car with the onboard down in third position now. Still in fourth place the CCS Media car, and Nimbus Data and Team Honeywell coming up the order as we head for a break. Welcome back to Snetterton, round 4 of the Fun Cup Championship. There's the race leader, Lee Atkins for Team Hill Speed, Ian Moore, his teammate, and Ian's son, Struan Moore, who also races in the BRDC Formula 4 Championship, will share the driving. The Keurig, Jolly Roger, and out to fourth place was the Team O'Brien Red Zeb car. In fifth position, CCS Media. You're on board now with Ben Gill, who's been having a terrific tussle with Will Pembroke there in the black 88 machine, who now goes alongside here in this battle for second place, and Ben Gill going through there on the way to Palmer Corner out of the Montreal hairpin. Huge gap now developing for the race leader in this first stint of the race, this first hour of the race. 5 mandatory pit stops to come during the course of the race. Second, third and fourth now together. Bradley Philpott there in fourth place in the 204 machine. The white and red striped car has come from 21st position on the grid, and he's already up to fourth place here. Quickest man out on circuit at the moment, even quicker than the race leader. There's the number 1 car of Race Logic. It's now found its way past the 125 machine of JPR Wacky Racers, making good progress still from the very back of the field, thumping the curbs there on board with Ben Gill, who almost loses control of the car, runs a little bit wide, and that mistake is costing him a place. As through to second position now comes the Team OBR car. So unseen, that must have got past the Acuri car already, and then straight away into second place. Team Cat driver training, Peter Barlow, Martin Hammond, Phil Marsh, enjoying their first season of Fun Cup racing. So there is the new second place car, 207. Jolly Roger third, and Curious can't go to the back of that group now in fourth place, on the way through the bomb hole now. Something like a 12-second disadvantage to the race leader. Out of the pits comes Porsche Byfleet. Terrific work by the team after a big shunt in qualifying to get the car out, but they're 13 laps down. Also, having had an early pit stop, is the 104 car you're looking back at there from the Team Cat driver training car, and that's now starting to catch them all up, having been half a lap down on everybody. And also 262 there is the Track Focus car, which has had an early visit to the pits, but which is now coming up the order just behind the Team Toolbox car, which was running in the top 5 earlier in the race. Catching up to the race leader very quickly now is the Team Red Zeb Team OBR car, Bradley Philpott, almost now with Lee Atkins. And here's the squabble for third place, involving pretty much everybody. Nimbus Data, Steve Johansson's come into the mix now. And there's the 158 car of Pete Belshaw. Marcus Clutton will join that one later on. They're all fighting away, a group of 4 or 5 cars now battling for the final podium spot. And look at this, coming out of Palmer Corner, Bradley Philpott has got the better run, and Team OBR, I think, about to get the lead of the race here. He does, into Agostini, a relatively straightforward move in the end to get ahead of the Hill Speed car. So from 21st on the grid, that car now leads the race. Ben Gill trying to get back in the podium paying positions in the car, which is 4th in that group there, the Jolly Roger car. Nimbus Data have got to the lead of that group ahead of Acuri Escargo. Then it's Sherrod and Jolly Roger trying to go around the outside, getting into a spin as Ben Gill loses traction on the way through the Agostini hairpin. The straightforward spin he quickly recovers, but he's lost 6 or 7 seconds in the process. Here's a replay, and we'll have a look now. He tried to go around the outside look of the Sherrod car, which he just lost the place to on the previous corner. Got crossed up, lost grip, carried too much speed into the corner, and the back end snapped around. Down the Bentley Straight then, this battle continuing here. Look at the red machine of Team Honeywell. That's another one which has come from near the back of the grid, and moving up the inside there of the Sherrod car. So well up in the top 6 now. Eco Racing also making good progress. He's just behind them, the green and silver machine. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, then 7th, 8th and 9th all running together. A spin there for the JPR Wacky Racers car. That was running in the top 6 earlier on. So that quickly recovers. Here they come then, this battle for third place. They're all together. Look at the red Honeywell car. So far with a win and 2 third-place finishes, just moving ahead of their championship rivals Nimbus Data to pick up a place. And a terrific tussle going on here for third. Right at the end of the first hour of the race, disaster befell Jolly Roger Racing. A blown engine putting them into early retirement. And there was disappointment for Hillspeed as their car stopped out on track. The recovery back to the pits cost them several laps and the former leaders dropped back into the midfield. Team OBR continued to lead with the 158 car of Sherrodise UK, now up to second place. Moving up to third place was the 88 machine of JPR Acuria Scargo, and some lightning quick pit stops helped to put last year's diesel class champions Eco Racing up into fourth place. And from the very back of the grid, championship leaders Team Race Logic were up to fifth place by mid-distance. Global Racing ran just outside the top 10, making her second appearance for the team was Sarah Reeder, who was having to adapt her driving style to suit the Fun Cup.
It's hard work. Their cars are very physical, really good close racing, maybe a little too close sometimes. But I'm really enjoying it. It's very competitive, but I'm used to racing CN prototype, so lots of aero, slicks, relatively easier in the corners, where these cars you've really got to hang on to them through the corners, so it's hard work.
13 laps behind the leaders and with a car that had been quickly rebuilt following their qualifying crash with Porsche Byfleet.
The setup is all over the place, so it's crabbing, it's not turning in, the steering wheel's straight, it's rocking, but we're still going. So we're just going to go around and finish and hopefully finish and see where we end up at the end of the day. So we were doing really well in the championship, so we're just trying to pick up as many points as we can, see how it goes. Thanks to the Nimbus Data that they really helped us out trying to get it back together, so I really appreciate that.
At least Porsche Byfleet won't last anymore, following retirements for Jolly Roger and now Team Tiger.
Yeah, we had a safety car, which was fine, and the car was fine during the safety car period, and an opportunity to check everything. Everything was great. Second lap after the safety car had come in, round Coram, no warning, no signs. All of a sudden there was a failure of the rear suspension, which threw me off onto the grass. Fortunately, I managed to stop the car before we got to the barriers, because as you know, there's not a lot of runoff there. So lucky escape really. I have no idea what failed, but it was all of a sudden no signs, no warning.
And those safety car periods meant that every time Team OBR built a lead, they were caught up again by the pack. Sherrodise UK took advantage, albeit briefly, with Eco Racing stealing the lead as they ran wide at turn 1. Comeback of the day went to Team OBR XCAT, half a lap down after an early visit to the pits. They're now up to 6th and every bit as quick as the leaders.
Unfortunately, we had a crash at the start of it. Since then, it's gone really, really well. All 3 drivers in the team are really strong. And in that last session, we've managed to go out and get fastest lap and be up there with the front runners, holding in second place, but unfortunately a lap down due to the crash before. But we've got the pace.
Having run in the top 6, the JPR Slopes team was the latest to hit trouble, losing 4 laps and dropping to 17th. And clutch failure robbed us of the chance to see a likely charge for victory from Marcus Clutton in the final stint for Sherrodise UK. Here we are then, just a few laps to go. There is the race leading car. Graham Pattle and Mark Burton, the team regulars, have done their work. They've now handed it over to Bradley Philpott, who took the start of the race, to take it home. Second place there, the blue car of Race Logic, closing them up, Nigel Greensaw, but with work to do. And this is the battle for third between the black car of Acuria Scargo and then the Team Honeywell car, which has not yet been off the podium this season. There's the Team OBR car, the XCAT car, which runs in 6th place, but a lap down, and behind it in 5th place is the 61 car of Eco Racing. That's the 7th place car of Purple Apple. Ed Cole and Paul Calladine having a good run here. The car just making a little bit of a straight run on the way into Nelson Corner, over the grass, but not too much time lost and no damage to the car. So the car stays in 7th place, and look at this. They couldn't be closer in the battle for 3rd place. Almost contact there, breathing on the way through the S-bend section. The Honeywell car gets its nose in front, and a terrific dice going on here between Neil Pliver. And then in the black car, James Summerton, the white 99 car, is 4 laps behind them, but every bit as quick there, the JPR Slopes machine. There's the race leader, being caught slowly. It's set the fastest lap of the race now, that car. It's just backed off the pace as they try and bring the car on home. So the Race Logic car continuing to close, but not, I don't think, by enough. There's CCS Media up in 8th place. Behind them was the Holden Hawthorne's car in 12th, and here we go again in this battle for 3rd place, the final spot of the podium. 5 hours of racing and they couldn't be closer, and around the outside that time goes the Acuria Scargo car. So James Summerton gets the car back into 3rd position. Had all sorts of bad luck at this track in the past, but it looks like they might finally be on for a good result. The race leader almost bringing it home, Bradley Philpott, test driver for Peugeot, raced at the Nürburgring 24 hours recently, his first taste of Fun Cup, and what an impression he's made. Nigel Greensaw continues to apply the pressure, but he's going to run out of time. Another of our new teams having a very good run here in 11th place, TWM Racing. Chris Earp, David Knowles and Paul Turner doing very well here at Snetterton. And look at this, 3 of them tussling, 2 of them for 3rd place. Honeywell back in front, so Neil Plymouth back in front in this battle. Just a couple of laps to go now. James Summerton back down to 4th place. I think it's going to go down to the Bentley Straight, and that huge toe that you get might make the difference on the very last lap here. The fly in the ointment might be this 99 car as well, which is right behind them, every bit as quick. 4 laps down, and in the midfield, Ben Pitch and Scott Fitzgerald in the JPR Slopes car. There's Nigel Greensaw. Well, they might not win the race, but they are still going to lead the championship here, beating all of their main rivals, bar Team OBR. And look at this, Honeywell just about squeezing through on the way into riches to make that 3rd place stick. They were running absolutely together again up the centre straight. So for the time being, as they go into the final lap of the race, it's Honeywell who holds station in 3rd place. Almost home now for Bradley Philpotts and Team OBR on course for their first win of the season. 4th, then a 3rd, then a 2nd. It's very uniform, this. It looks like they're going to get a 1st place here. Just a couple of corners to go through. Murray's for the final time. And what about 3rd place here? At the inside comes the Acuria Escargot car. Running wide there, the Team Honeywell machine, which has dropped back to 4th place. A 3rd and 4th changes with just a couple of corners to go. The flag comes out. Team OBR take their first victory of the season here at Snetterton, a track where they've won before. The Honeywell car is slowing. It's been unlapped by the JPR Slopes car, so the Acuria team is definitely going to take 3rd place now, behind Race Logic and behind the winners, Team OBR, and struggling here with a puncture at the end of the race at Team Honeywell, but they'll just make it home to 4th. Eco Racing come home in 5th place, Team OBR X-Cat up to 6th, Purple Apple and CCS Media round out the top 8. Let's hear now from Acuria Escargot after that dramatic 3rd place finish.
We just drove really, really hard. We took every opportunity we could. We both tried to keep out of trouble and drive consistently and try and take advantage wherever we could.
And then the last lap, we were lucky and we managed to pull away, and there was a 3rd car in the mix, which kind of made it even more interesting, but yeah, came on top at the very end.
For the race winners, the final stint was all about managing the car and the tyres.
When we were comfortably in front, I think we were around 14 seconds in front, the team put out a board that said tyres, and I knew obviously we don't want to come in under the limit on the tyre depth, so we went slow for a few laps. We were around 3 seconds a lap off the pace, and then I got a board that said go fast, so we banged in a couple of quick ones, which I think secured the fastest lap, and then we backed it back off again because we could see there was a big enough gap to relax a little bit.
And congratulations to our team of the day, OBR X-Cats, as Simon Bonham, Martin Harris and Adam Bonham come back to finish in 6th place. So let's have a look at the standings after that result. Team Race Logic still lead the way. Team OBR move up to 2nd, Honeywell at 3rd, Eco Racing 4th and Porsche Byfleet there in 5th.
Well, it was the longest race of the season so far, and I think, Christian, it was probably also the best race of the season so far. So many different leaders, you couldn't tell which one of the top 6 was going to win, even right down to the last stint.
Yeah, absolutely correct. The top 6 teams were chopping and changing all the way through the race. I don't think it was really until the last 20 minutes we really know who was going to win, and then even from 2nd to 5th, they were changing around all the time. It made for a really, really good finish to the race.
And Race Logic are there again, they're leading the championship, but Team O'Brien have now moved into 2nd place in the standings, and they really look like genuine title contenders now, don't they?
Yeah, they were really super quick today, really on the pace. If they can keep that up, then Race Logic, they're going to have their hands full them all season. It's not just them, there's a few other teams as well. I imagine, come the last 1 or 2 races, it's going to be so compact, so tight in the top 1 or 2 or 3 spaces there. So it looks like we're going to be a really good finish.
So if you thought the 5-hour race was long, next time out they're going to be at Spa for a 25-hour race. It's a non-point scoring round, but for many it's the pinnacle of the season. In terms of the UK Championship, they'll next be out at Brands Hatch. So that's it from Snetterton. It's been a great day of racing. Hope you've enjoyed watching it, and we'll see you again very soon.